Welcome to my YouTube channel, Journey Seekers. Click to subscribe, tap that notification bell for upcoming videos, and press the like button on videos that you love. Today's Empower Your Crown show is sponsored by Fix Your Fungal Nail by Fix Your Feet Productions.
Fix your fungal nails. Fix your fungal nails. Fix your fungal nails and go polish.
So hi everyone, I'm Dr. Yolanda Ragland. I'm your Dr. Foot Fixer. I'm the Foot Fairy and I am queen of all the toes. And as I have been teasing you guys for the last year, I'm coming out with my new product. It is Fix Your Fungal Nail. That's right, Fix Your Fungal Nail. And the reason why I want to launch my Fix Your Feet product with the Fix Your Fungal Nail is because I too suffer with fungal nails. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you all. Thank you for being a Fix Your Feeder, and thank you so much for supporting a business owned by a Black woman. Thank you so much. I love you all. Bye.
Fix your fungal nails and go polish. Free.
Journey Seekers, we are here today, and today is a great day. I'm going to tell you why it's a great day today, because I'm going to ask the question. Are you creating your success today, Journey Seekers? Are you creating your success today? I know you are. So today is a marvelous day because we are talking about wealth management with Jae Pierre. And in addition to that, Jay is going to teach us all about building a legacy by successfully managing each financial stage. I'm so happy to have you here, Jay. How are you today? Thank you for being here on this platform so people can know about wealth management. How are you?
I'm great, actually. You know, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You know, you're always a positive light.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a great day.
Yes,
you know?
It's a great day. Now, I know you, Jay. You know, we have this wonderful connection, like you said. We talk all the time. But for those of you who do not know you, I'm going to ask the question. I'm sure everyone's wanting to know. Who are you? Who is Jae Pierre?
Who am I? Wow, it's a loaded question. Yeah, but I am actually an educator. You know, I've been an educator for over 20 years. And most recently, I'm more a financial educator, where my mission is to educate the community of how they can reach and build their generational wealth.
I like that, generational wealth. So now what do you do when it comes to what you just said about building generational wealth? What do you do? You have some type of business you conduct? What is it that you do?
Yes, well, like I said, I'm an educator and I work alongside with New York Life as my basis. So they've given me that platform where I could actually go out and speak on the subject. So I actually work a lot with schools, especially where I go in and do different seminars with the parents, also with the teachers also, since I'm a fellow teacher myself. You know, but mostly to educate the parents on, hey, while your kids are young, what plan have you put in place to build for them to become financially successful? So we try to start out at the elementary level where your child is still young. And you can put something in place, even if you haven't done it for yourself as an adult as yet. Hey, let's get a jump start on building it for your child or your children.
I love it. I love it. So now you just told us, how that's amazing, because I've never really heard it put that way where, okay, we can start as young as elementary. And I think it's very important.
Correct. As a baby, actually.
As a baby, right? Before the baby comes out.
Right.
Something for the baby. And educate the baby about, I guess, wealth management as well. And teach them, because as we know, they don't teach them in school.
Nope. Unfortunately not.
All right. Yeah. So now that you told us what you do to help others, I guess you are going to enlighten us. And I have a question. With what you do, can other people do that as a business opportunity?
Oh, definitely. With everything going on, you see, we're still operating, thankfully. Everything is remote. Right. We have, fortunately, to have good tech people keep us up and running, so we can safely function, from home base if necessary. And we're always offering business opportunities for people seeking this type of field if they're interested in financial investments, if that's something of interest to them. Yeah. We definitely, are aware of those opportunities, which I'll discuss further on.
Of course. So you have the floor. I'm going to shut up and mute my mic. Take it away, Jay.
Okay. So, as we said, we're going to talk about, wealth management, building a legacy. Like I said before, my platform is based off of New York Life, which actually this year is we celebrated our 175th birthday in the industry. And we're supposed to have, a big celebration, so we'll see how that goes. Yes, we actually celebrate 175 years strong. We are built for times like this.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. So we definitely have a proven track record, because besides this time in 2008, definitely, was able to help a lot of people during that time.
Was that the recession, I believe?
That was. So yes, it definitely was. So Here we go, right?
Yeah, not too many businesses can have I will say, bragging rights to say they've survived recessions and still going strong and help the community in those times as well. So definitely kudos to, New York Life. Definitely. That shows that they, have commitment and they're consistent in whatever they're doing. It's working and it's getting results.
Definitely. So on that alone, as I said, and you notice we have the financial strength of all four major sources, AAA rating company. All right. We also offer dividends, which for the past 165 years, consistently, we've had dividends. All the dividends are not guaranteed, but for 165 years consecutive, our company has actually offered it to their policyholders. Okay. So, just going back on who I am, more in depth of my role when I'm especially speaking one-on-one to individuals and also businesses. It's the same type of platform. We help you to meet your long-term financial goals.
I like that. So that's a licensed insurance professional where the business opportunities come in as well, in addition to the products that you guys have.
Correct. Correct. So it tends on life and retirement planning, basis.
Okay.
So before we get started, I just wanted to tell you a little story about the 100-person story. All right. It's actually based off of the U.S. Census Bureau and the Social Security Administration. Did a study, 100 people study, on where they would be at the age of 67. Okay. So from the chart, you can see that, 12 out of the 100, they die, right?
Wow.
At age 67, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have 13 are pretty much barely making it broke because their annual incomes are under 14,000.
Wow.
And then 66 out of the 100, they're living within their means, maybe above their means, at an annual income between 14K to 65K. Right? But then you only have 9, which you notice on the top blue portion. There's only 9 that actually have an income of over 75K. So imagine in this great country of ours, to only have 9 become financially successful. Maybe think about that.
Why is that? Is that because people are not planning and they're saying what they want and what they would like to do, but they probably don't have the tools or the resources to implement it? Is that why we only have that small number of 9 having the annual incomes over 65, because they're not planning it out?
Yep, you're right on track.
Okay.
You're right on track, actually. Yeah, it's not like, the 66 people decided, not to necessarily plan, but maybe something came up. Maybe they were throwing a curveball, maybe they didn't plan well enough to maintain their way of living or what they wanted to be. Okay, but the 9, they stuck to their plan, right? They made a plan, constructed a plan, and they stuck to it no matter what. Okay, so I always like to share this little story, to at least have your mind thinking like, where will you end up?
Yeah, get the cargo wheels going. That should really be like a wheel cargo. That little wheel cargo one is, because there has to be a solution to fix this.
Yeah.
So has to be a solution, and it's such a technological age we live in, where technological age we live in, where we should not have. We don't have limitations to resources anymore. So, but still, it's so much that I guess sometimes people don't know where to begin.
Yeah, it could get overwhelming, so it's always good to feed off someone else that you trust. And that's where we come in, Like I said, we do go out to the community. We do reach out, even just to have a conversation so that you can figure out, am I on track? Am I where I need to be? So those are questions that we try to get you to, start thinking about if you haven't as of yet.
Right.
So on that note, this is our building plan, So normally we take a planning approach, like you were just talking about, right? Planning is key, right? So we take a planning approach to help our clients realize where they are, where they want to be, and how to get there financially, okay? So according to the plan, most needs fall into one of these three categories: personal, business, or estate planning.
Now, I know you're going to review it, so I'm eager to hear this.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, while, you're like listening to the different parts, I want you to kind of make note to yourself, like which one you fall into, or what's more important to you, right? So in each of those areas, the goals are the same, twofold. It's either maximize savings and returns, or you want to minimize taxes and risk. Okay.
Yeah, the good old money tax.
Yep. So I want you to think about which of these are important to you. Make a note of it, so when we do sit down and speak, I know where to start with you. Okay?
So this is how you present to the, I guess when you mentioned you guys go out, or you go out and you create awareness around financial and building your legacy.
Right.
I guess this is how you start the conversation you were talking about, how it starts.
Correct, because everyone is different. Everyone is an individual. Sometimes I can go to a household and I can speak to the mother, I can speak to their young adult daughter, and they could have different plans, different ideas of where they want their future to be. So each person has an individualized plan, right? So, I'm getting to know the person. I get to know you first, like I said, see where you want to be. I want you to tell me, where do you think you are at the present moment? And where do you want to be? And then, well, how are we going to get there, Jay? Right? So I'm like, okay, so you first need to know where we are.
And what is the most commonality you heard among everyone when you asked them that question?
Where they are?
Yeah. The most
they're normally like, I'm not where I want to be yet.
Oh, okay. Well, at least everybody's clear on that part, right?
Even older people, I'm like, really? I deal with retirees also. And sometimes I hear the same response, Yeah. So just like I said, just putting a plan in place, because even after you retire, you're not done planning yet. It's like, what do you want to do in retirement?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's another part of the financial phases that I will speak about as we move along. Okay. So this is how the stages look, to give you an idea. Okay. So normally we start off with, so we have different stages: the protection stage, or we consider risk management, accumulation or wealth management. Then you have the distribution stage, okay, and then transfer of wealth. So you build your estate planning. So the top level is where is your goal, right, to that generational wealth that we spoke about. Now, if you plan it properly, right, we would successfully reach to the top. All right. So, like I said, everything is a planning stage. Every stage has its own planning stages to it. right? I won't go into too much detail on it, but I just want to give, your group of listeners and audience out there just an idea of, so that they have more of an idea where they are. So when, they do reach out to you, if they reach out to me, they can tell me, hey, I think I'm at the accumulation level. And then, that's where we'd start building from. Okay.
I like that.
So let's start with the foundation. So the foundation is the protection, right? So it's just like building a house. So let's think about, how do we start building a house? How to make it secure? You need a solid foundation. Without that solid foundation, everything you try to build on top of that, right? What do you think will happen? It's going to come crashing down.
Absolutely.
Right?
If it's not built right, absolutely.
Right. Correct. So at this level, you want to make sure it's your most solid foundation. It's the main stage. Okay, after that, then you can build up, right? So I can go on and on about that. So I made a few notes. I stay on track.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So normally at this stage, I'll ask you, Tisha, what do you consider your greatest, most important asset?
Well, that would be future generations. That's me.
Okay.
I can't take everything with me, although I would like to be stuffed in a pyramid, with of the riches, you got to let some go for the next generation.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's good. Right. Definitely. So that's your future goal. Right. So many times when that question is posed, many people might say their kids, their car, their house, right, is their most important asset. Those are all great assets, right? But how are you gonna maintain those assets, or, without you?
That's the question.
It's a open, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an open question, cause how would it, cause even you said, okay, your future, right? Your future generation. How is that gonna come about?
Well,
you?
Well, I would guess, initiate it through some type of, everyone has car insurance. You may not need it right then, but when you need it, it's there.
Correct.
So that's like a maintenance fee,
right.
for your life. That's why
right.
it's called life insurance. In the event of someone's demise, then they have paid into it and maintained it regularly.
Right.
And sometimes you could borrow against it for a rainy day, which ones you have, which type of policy you have, which will allow that.
Right.
But, it may just be something that you maintain. So when you want to move to another universe, you have something here left,
Right. No.
But it's something you invest into. And I think when people are taught, or for lack of a better word, not taught that word investment, we're usually taught to become consumers, buyers, and employees.
Right.
We're never really taught to invest into ourselves, invest into a business, or invest into some type of security while we are living, and that would carry us out to past the end.
Correct. You're right on point. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you are your most important asset. You are your greatest asset. Why? Because without you, these things can't come to pass. So like you said, you have to insure yourself. You have to make sure you are well protected, right? We don't know day to day what's going to happen. Example, the world of today, right? This 2020
absolutely
has a lot of unexpected turns and twists. So I could have never foreseen what's happening now. Okay, so yes, you have to protect yourself. You have to insure yourself. So just like you have car insurance or you have homeowners insurance, just in case, something happens. So you make sure you insure yourself. You have disability insurance, health insurance, life insurance, long-term care insurance, right? These are all just in case. You never know what can happen. So once you protect yourself, your family then can also be provided for, right? In case anything was to happen to you. At least that's one less worry that they have to stress about if you are no longer, around, right? To put things in place. Any questions before?
No. You're doing just fine.
Okay. All right. So also with protecting yourself and making sure you have a solid foundation, we also ask if you have, you make sure you have your living wills in place, and your powers of attorney, healthcare proxies, things like that. If you have younger kids, you have guardians, you can have a trust for your child also. In case, so this way you can ensure that whatever you leave for them is going to be used for them and how you want it to be used. Because, sometimes you can put someone in charge of who you think you trust, and it can go not how you expected, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you have that. Mm-hmm.
Like that, what is it? Lemony Snicket, Series of Unfortunate Events movie. With a 𝐲𝐵 children, their parents died and things didn't go well.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that all of your legal documents are in effect and up to date. So even if you just need to review that, we are available to look over any documents. And we also work together with any other financial advisors or attorneys that you do have. We work hand in hand with them. Okay.
Okay, that's a unique thing that you said that New York Life has, because I've had other guests on the webinar workshop.
Okay.
And it was amazing that they are similar to what you do as well. But I didn't hear anyone say that they can work with them as well, as a team. And sometimes people need that. So that's really good to know. That's really unique.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we always advise that you do speak to whoever you already had, with you and that you're familiar with. Because sometimes they may not be aware of all of the information, because there's so many different changes with legal documents that have transpired, the Secure Act. There's so many different things that have changed, and we actually have our own advisors that are well versed in those avenues, and we're always willing to share and team up with your team, and go over any existing documents that you may have in place already.
That's good to know.
Mhm.
So what else do we have next?
Yes, so next, after we have accomplished our protection stage, this is when we move on to our wealth accumulation. Okay. So at this stage, just as it says, this is where you're accumulating. Okay? You're accumulating your wealth. So this is during your working stages, where as you work, you're putting aside a percentage of whatever you're working for. At least you're supposed to be, right?
We should hope so.
I say this lightly.
Yes, you never know.
I'm gonna get my head chopped off, but
yeah. Some people don't have that luxury. I do know that sometimes in the workforce, when you're working and you have a job that pays a lot of money, yeah, they pay a high salary, but on the back end, they're really not paying into anything for your future. So
right.
when people go on job interviews and they're like, oh, how much is the salary? And they're like, oh, 20, 30 an hour. You got to ask the next question. Do you have health benefits? Do you have, retirement benefits? Like, what does that package look like? And dental coverage, there's a lot. Some people like to be paid on the front end, but you have to have that balance on the back end too. So yeah, you might have to take a lesser salary because that company is paying into a good package for you, retirement, health benefits, whatever it is. But these are things that, like I said, we're not taught. We're just told to go out there and work,
Yes. And every little counts. So even if your employer is not providing that for you, you have to do it for yourself. And we do have avenues where we show you how to do that, which that we can discuss that on a different platform, because actually the things that the employees used to do in the past, they're not doing it now. And it's documented. It's in the journals, in Wall Street journals. Some companies, they give you like a package for you on your own to figure out an investment plan for your retirement future.
Well, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's like trying to do your taxes by yourself.
Right. So they've had companies, big companies, which I'll leave unnamed, have done that, where they try to buy out their employees and just give them a package. But like if people don't really plan or they're not aware of, well, how do I plan for that? It's not something you learn or go to school for, right? Then you can't really blame them, really, in entirety of not doing the proper thing with that money. So, but, like I said, you have companies that do offer the 401ks, 403bs, teachers, right? The 457s, deferred comp. These are all accumulation vehicles. Okay. In businesses, we have a SEP, what we call a SEP or simple IRAs for business owners that they can provide for their employees. Depending on the size of the business, we tell you which one you can be, will be better for you. So all of these, like I said, are accumulation vehicles. Okay. So after the accumulation stage, or during the accumulation stage, before I continue, you should also have a goal of why are we accumulating and what we are accumulating for. So for example, college, right? For retirement, how would you like your retirement to look? right? So those are questions that at this stage you want to ask yourself, because that will determine how much you put aside. Okay? Because that's what I'm thinking about with the 401ks. That's a conversation also that I end up having with a lot of people, just explaining about it, because a lot of people are not aware of really how that works, even though they have it and they're contributing to it at their job. They have no idea how they can use it or utilize it at a later date. Okay, so that's why I say you have to ask yourself that question. Well, what do I want this money for? What is it earmarked for? You know, is it for your retirement savings? Is it for a second career? Is it for your kids' college? So all these things is all part of your planning, right? Any questions on that? All right. So once we surpass the stage accumulation stage, we go to the distribution stage. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the accumulation goals. In the distribution stage, that's when you start taking your Social Security. That's when you decide, well, what am I doing with those 401ks or 403bs, right? How can I make my money last as far as possible? Okay, and that's one of the solutions New York Life has. We're able to offer guaranteed income for life. Okay. So basically the distribution phase is during your retirement. Any questions?
I do have one question. Because as business owners, as opposed to employees, right? There is a retirement for your business. And I still hear people discussing this, you know, like my good friends like you who are into financial literacy. I still hear them saying that they talk to the elders, you know, the seniors, and the elders, like you said earlier, said that they wish they had you know, some insight on how to plan for retirement within their business. And these are business owners.
Right.
When you have a brick and mortar, you work so hard every day, day in and day out, and it's a repetition of that. You really don't have time to think, which is parallel to an employee. You know, some people, and that's a whole nother conversation, some people switch their jobs for their business. It's the same thing, actually. You just now are your own employee, you know, employee. And, you know, no disrespect to that, because I love going to my pizza shop. I love going to my, you know, my little dessert shop, you know, but if people don't stop and take a break, which a lot of business owners, brick and mortar, cannot do, to say, listen, yeah, this is good right now, but how am I planning for my retirement? Let me take out a package for myself, since I own this business, and sit down with someone like you and say, listen, I just want to plan for retirement, because I'm not trying to flip these burgers, you know, cook these hot dogs all the way until I croak, right?
Yes.
You know, even if they sell their franchise for some money, which entrepreneurs usually wind up doing, you know, selling it, especially if it's a great, you know, business they want to turn over and they don't have anyone to take it over, they could sell it out and add that money to their retirement. So what do you suggest in situations like that?
Well, I'm glad that you touched upon that, because yes, we actually work a lot with business owners, especially small business owners, on those same points that you mentioned. We call that the exit strategy. That's normally our first question. What is your exit strategy? You know, because you have to build, as a business owner, you have to build your own retirement plan, like you said. You're absolutely right on that. And the question becomes, well, how do I do that, right? And also, like you touched upon, is they're working day in, day out. You know, they're just doing turnover after turnover. You know, so whatever profits they're making, they're putting it back in there, and they're not having a strategy of, hey, how can I put some of this aside to build for my retirement? And that's a key factor, actually, that we have successfully implemented in our company to have you retire comfortably. You know, so any business owners out there, you know, I'd love to speak to you one-on-one, because like I said, everyone's case is individual, you know. So, and we make a plan, individualized plan for everyone. But what you said, those are the key points there. So, I mean, you're right on point with that. Yeah. That's we have so many business owner clients, so many, you know, with that same aspect of, hey, what do I do to plan for my retirement? How can I put some of that aside? You know? So yeah.
All right. So is there anything else you want us to know?
Well, based on the people who are getting their retirement, that's also another avenue that we do work one-on-one with you to show you, well, now you're living off of, you're no longer receiving an earned income, right? In retirement. Now you're living off your assets. So the plan is, well, how are you gonna let that last? Because, hey, the question becomes, well, are you gonna outlive your earnings, or are you gonna, you know, die before, you know, using it out? Either way, what's your plan, right? So that's something that we do sit down and speak to you on, because we do have solutions where we have a guaranteed income which won't outlive you.
Yeah.
So we can show you how to do that, and also with the how to maximize your pension also.
Right. I think this is similar to having a conversation about death. You know, it falls on that path because, you know, there's a couple of things that's guaranteed in life, taxes and death.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people avoid it because it's such a hard topic, because you are talking about the journey towards, you know, the greener pastures, you know, and planning for that. So I think a lot of people don't take the initiative to search, you know, people like you out. Like you said, you're going to search them out.
Right.
Because it's a very, like, uncomfortable.
You think they're avoiding?
Avoidance. It's an avoidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they, you know, just stay complacent, comfortable that, you know what, I'll get to it. And I'm 20 something. I'm 30 something. I'm 40. You know, and they don't think that far in ahead as to, like, what would happen in such of a situation, mm-hmm. that you would have to address your demise and actually plan for it. Plan your pocket, plan your financial house in the same house as your demise house. I think it's a very, you know, aesthetic, a comfort level that people don't want to deal with. And when they're young and when they get older, it's like, wait.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And thankfully, you know, many of my clients are always very appreciative of when I do speak to them on that, they don't feel uncomfortable. I'm able to put them at ease. And I have many that, they start putting other things in place where that's concerned. Because you don't want to wait until you die to, hey, let me seek out that plot.
Right.
Let me find out how much that is.
Right.
Yeah. If you do it beforehand, they actually have a payment plan.
Right.
On it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you don't have to put everything down where if you do wait, you burden your loved ones to now have to come up with everything.
Yeah.
All at once.
And that's what's happening
now.
That's what's happening now.
Correct. Because exactly, this is a good example of the world we're in right now. You mentioned the 20-something-year-olds. They passed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had babies pass away, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. It's a hard situation.
It's a hard
very,
situation.
very hard situation. It's difficult. It's difficult, which is why I'm like always so passionate about, listen, let's do something. Right. Even if it's something little,
Yeah. Well,
so that you're not burdening your family. Right. Those are the people you say you love,
Right.
You don't wanna do that.
Right. Absolutely. And like I said, sometimes it's the way that the information is presented. And most of my, good friends, like I said, like yourself, who are in this type of business, mm-hmm. everybody's pitch for people to understand the knowledge that they're imparting on them is different. Mm-hmm. But sometimes people always want to know what's in it for me, although it's about them, right? And what I find that kind of works, that kind of put my antennas up when I, first mm-hmm. started my journey when it came to building, like you said, the financial legacy, building my legacy.
Right.
Was that, you can borrow against some of these plans.
Yes.
For a rainy day. You have
definitely.
College, I started college plan before the baby's born, but when the baby's 10 and I need to, put out a little extra money for that baby's, maybe a program I would like to have that baby have an advantage in.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Lesson, something that helps build on their education. Maybe there's an opportunity for that baby to have. I can pull the money out the college fund and put it towards that because the baby's only 10 right now. They have until another 10 years before whatever happens.
Yep. You're right.
They might want to go to college. They may not decide might not want to go to college, or they do. And
correct.
And now I've created a nest egg for them to borrow again to take for whatever endeavors they want to do if college is not for them. And that's the trap, because some people are not built for college. And the advantage, the advantage is that, okay, I'm going to put out this college fund for my child, but if my child decides that they don't want to go to college, they want to start their own business, guess what? That child has like 100 G's that they could take and just be yourself in the world. And if you teach your child correctly about financial literacy and awareness, that child's not going to blow it, because guess what? You as the parent with the first example, but now if you the parent going by Nike, they ain't paying the rent, then that child gonna blow the money if you're not setting the good examples yourself first as the parent. Right. But children are gonna do what they want to do. So that little extra money you put aside to them, if they blow it, they'll be like, hey, this is all you got. And if you blow it, don't come back. Just set those standards too, because some people just need to learn the hard way. I was one of those types as well. And there's nothing wrong with it. Because,
right. But at least you learn it.
Right, at least you learn it. So sometimes those are little perks when people hear, oh, I can borrow against it, I can put it towards this, and even if it's not for the child, you can have a policy for yourself where you borrow against for a rainy day. Maybe you just need to go away, from it all. You just take a little money out and keep it moving. So that sometimes is a good incentive when we're talking about, building your legacy.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Right on track. And like I said, those are the conversations we do have with our clients, to make them aware of all the options they have, and especially, like I said, I do try to reach out to individuals with that younger child, because like you said, before they're 10, you already have a nest egg for them.
Right.
If you plan it right, if you work together with me and plan it right, you know, it's less frustrating. It's, you know, it's not as, you know, like people expensive as you think, you know, it is. You decide. Everyone is an individual. You decide how much you want to set aside for your child, you know, future.
So, not getting off the topic, because I don't know where you're at with the slide we're currently.
Yeah, we're almost to the top level.
Okay.
We're getting there right now.
Okay.
Yes. So so after we have successfully, you know, protected, you know, and accumulated and preserved your assets, then you move on to transferring of the assets. Right? That's where you want to transfer to your heirs. When we talk about generational wealth, even a legacy, you want to keep as much as possible to, you know, that generation where they are not being taxed for the inheritance, because you're gifting it to them. So that's where we minimize the taxes when they do, you know, you present them with this gift. Okay? That's the main stage.
That's good. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So it was this one other thing I like to show, because, you know, just like in the beginning, had the thinker, had you thinking, you know, gotta have you thinking at the end too. You know?
Yep, bring it on.
Two kinds of savers, you know. Which one are you? Are you the one that spends first and then, you know, try to utilize whatever else is left? Or do you save first and then, you know, spend, you know, what's necessary?
Oh, you asked me.
Where do you fall under? Yeah, I like to ask everyone.
I'm always the anomaly. I'm going to tell you with everything. I do not fit in either category, and that's been my whole life. Because I feel there should be another circle, like I said, that cuts it in the middle. It should be half and half, because I'm all about creating a balance.
Right.
So, say for instance, if I get money, we all get paid at the same time, you know, because I love direct deposit. So that's where it comes in at. You know, when I started out on, like I said, the journey of being financially aware and educated, it was interesting. A tidbit I do like to share in the story that I heard, for me, when someone said, listen, when you get paid, you know, you start to fill out where your level of your lifestyle is. Like, try to live below your means. And so when you come out with a strategy like that, living below your means, you really start tightening the belt. However, when you get a raise, do you spend more, you know, because you got that wonderful bonus of the raise, or do you still live below your means?
Right.
And so living below your means for me means that it's a balance. I'm living below my means at all times. And when I get the raise, I'm stashing it. But at the same time, when I get paid, those distributions of where my money needs to go to save for a rainy day, in addition to me stashing money that I gain, like I said, via a raise, that goes stashed too. And I'm still living below my means. Maybe it should be a triangle for me, you know, with the arrow as a a cycle, because it's a cycle. It's not that, and then living below my means I'm spending below my means. And if I needed something extra now, I could dip into what I saved.
Right.
Because it's like an escrow account. You know,
Right.
now I already paid myself first. I paid the insurance. I paid this. I paid
Yes.
that. As soon as the money comes in, everything clears because
You're right
we're
on.
all paid at the same time. So you might want to revisit that with your company and tell them put something in there for Tashar.
Definitely. But no, you're definitely right on track. You're right on track. I can't say different. You're right on track. And that's exactly what people need to do. They should definitely listen to what you're saying. Like, you know, wealth of knowledge, I'm telling you, positive light, always positive light, you know. But you know, I just like to make people aware, you know, have them, if they haven't thought about it yet, at least think about it, you know. But in these times, don't think too long, you know. Make a plan.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. Stop thinking, start your action plan.
Right. Yeah, and you can't stay in the think mode where nothing gets done. And I'm a thinker by nature. I am.
Me too. My mind is always
thinking. But you have to take action. And that's what I tell all my journey seekers. Yeah, you can think, write it down. You know, and that's
listen to her.
You know,
listen to her.
You know,
she knows, yeah.
And I have clients that I personally coach one-on-one, and it's very interesting. You know, I'm like, okay, let's do a personal assessment like you're doing right here, right now. And the one thing people will tell me, they will sit on a marvelous business for years and don't take action.
No action.
And that's why I always say a business doesn't fail because your idea wasn't the greatest idea. But let me tell you something, honey. You could have that nice cold water in that hot desert. If you do not let somebody know that it's open for business, you just have a good idea. So you have to take action when it comes to your business, whether that's
plan with no action.
Right? But if it's your personal and you have fear, doubts, insecurity, I don't have enough money, let me tell you something. Take action. The universe will listen to you when you make that first step. Everything after that,
start to provide.
Let me tell you. Yeah, there we go.
Yep. And just to wrap up, I know, you know, like I said, we always are looking for additional people, business, you know, people to come on board, to join our team, because we work as a team also, you know, so we're always looking for other people, you know, to join our team that are financially savvy and financially aware. And it could be been in any business. One of my team members, he used to work on Wall Street. You know, so, you know, if, like I said, investments is your niche, come on board, you know. Definitely, you know, send me a message, give me a call. You know, I'm there.
So how can people contact you? Because I love the idea of business opportunities, and I know you shared your screen earlier. I don't know if you can get back to it.
Yeah.
I'm saying what I'm going to say, but I just feel that right about now, it is never too late to become financially literate, because when your mind is right, your money's right. You know, right now you find a lot of people is, you know, it's shaky. They shaky, you know, because they didn't plan. And if they did plan, it's like you said, they didn't hit the mark because there's a lot going on that no one really predicted. But still, in any case, you know, things would make itself, you know, available when it comes to certain policies that people need in situations like this. This is not the only situation that we've been through. You know, we've been through a recession. We've been through a lot of things. But I think hopefully right now, this is an awakening for everyone, for them to really get their financial house in order, because as you can see, it affects you. And if you're relying on an employer to sustain you, that's not job security.
Right. No, you definitely have to provide for yourself. It's definitely not how it used to be, where in the past it was considered the three-legged stool, you know, where you have your Social Security, you know, your pension, right, and your savings. Those three things you had, and you were able to guarantee Social Security and pension. Now, you mention the word pension, some people are like, what is that? Right?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
So you have to build your own. The savings portion is so much bigger, you know, than it used to be. So
now you need a four-legged stool, honey. Please.
you have to take action. You know, you have to take action. If you want, I could see if I could put back up the number for you. I wanted to leave you with a video.
Okay, cool.
If anything, let me see if I can bring it up. You want me to show you the number first or the video?
Let's just prepare our viewers and so they can plan whether they have a screenshot. I know this is a recording. However, people can rewind and go back and write down the information. But for those who are just so excited, they can take a screenshot, picture of the screen. You can pop up the information and go with your video.
So you could definitely reach me at 929-390-1390, or you can shoot me off an email at jpierre01@ft.newyorklife.com. And you can also see my page on the newyorklife.com/jpierre01 also.
Oh, thank you for that contact information. So I guess you're going to show us the video now.
It definitely, you know, just, you know, a little, I hope you can hear it.
Okay.
All right, so this is a little video clip to, you know, remind us of how life goes sometimes, right? And protect your loved ones is the most important.
I remember when my husband proposed. He said he'd always take care of me. Always. And he really held true to that promise. It's not just because he worked hard to provide for our family, but because of the little things. Things like these love notes he'd always hide around the house, or the way he made sure the kids actually did what they were told. Or just the way he made our home feel safe. So when he got sick, because he'd gotten life insurance, he was able to keep his promise. And even though he's no longer here, I know we'll be okay. He promised we would be.
Thank you so much.
We call it the ultimate love letter when you put a plan in place.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here with the Journey Seekers, with this audience.
My pleasure.
So much appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I just want everyone to be safe, blessed, you know, stay positive.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So on that note, Journey Seekers, till next time, bye. Peace and blessings.